Hi, my name is Velok and welcome to my Abyssal Precipice dungeon guide. This is a normal dungeon that has 3 bosses with a recommended level of 48 to 50 and has an estimated clear time of 20 to 30 minutes if there are no wipes. The first boss is Cara. He is a very simple boss and only has 2 abilities. His first ability is Ice Geyser. This begins as a bright white circle on the ground, and after a few seconds any player standing in it will take damage and be knocked back. A pillar of ice will then erupt from the ground and act as a line of sight blocker. This is directly related to his next ability, which is Icy Explosion. Once he begins to cast Icy Explosion, all players need to run and hide from him behind the ice pillar so that you are out of line of sight. Any players that are not out of his line of sight behind the ice pillar when he finishes casting will be instantly killed. If your group can manage this, then you should have no problems killing this boss. The second boss is Modulate the Bloodwalker. He starts off as an elite with a small amount of health called Modulate. However, when you DPS him to 50% health, he will cast Blood Surge. This does a lot of damage to players in his melee range and he kills himself. Once dead, he will resurrect as Modulate the Bloodwalker. At this stage he gains 2 new abilities. Blood Contagion will debuff a player with infected blood, which will deal damage to the target player and anyone around them. However, this can and should be dispelled. Finally, he has Blood Crystal. He will encase a random player in a blood crystal, and this player will eventually die while in the blood crystal, but you can free them by focusing your DPS on the crystal until it gets destroyed. The third and final boss is Calyx the Ancient. After a brief RP event, you will engage the boss. His first ability is Jagged Ice Shield. He will cast this on himself, and for a few seconds it will reflect some of the damage you do back to yourself, so you need to keep an eye on your health. Next he will cast Hydroblast on a random player. This simply does a moderate amount of damage to that player. He will occasionally cast Abyssal Depths, which is a swirling white circle on the ground. After a few seconds it will freeze any player standing in it in an ice block for 5 seconds. His most dangerous ability is Frozen Wrath. This does AoE damage to the entire group for roughly half your health, so it's important that the healer keeps everyone topped off to survive. That concludes the Abyssal Precipice Dungeon Guide. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe for future guides and coverage. Thanks for watching.